Hey guys, it's Julesy, and I have finally moved into my apartment in Charlotte, North Carolina after leaving Dallas, Texas. Another cross-country move completed. I'm inclined to say it's been a mess to get here, but really, it hasn't, because life always gives you hiccups, like moving the weekend a major hurricane hits your inland city like Charlotte. Since when you start getting hurricanes? When you're in transition between apartments, there are all these moving pieces. The moving company, where's your stuff being stored? Closing accounts while opening new ones. Your mail. I can do a whole story time on the issues with my mail. So when I was offered the opportunity to do a sponsorship with Chromebook in the middle of this move, shall I say it was perfect timing. First of all, if you a real OG, you an original smart brown girl, you will remember when I lived in Delaware and was working a promo for the launch of the very first Chromebook ever. That'd be like 2011, 2012, doing marketing for Chromebook in Best Buys in Delaware. Sis, I was a great, horrible employee, and one day I'll have to tell you how I got myself fired from that job. You know, might have been checking in and not showing up, but it's all good for the day. But here we are. What, a whole 6 years later with the new updated Chromebook, and bruh, I better not bang this sucker around too much. I do use it a lot. But I am really proud to say, as a member of the Quack team, I roll with the punches with grace. You know, I stayed blessed and mostly unbothered. So since I've now completed this move, I am almost entirely unpacked, and I get a ton of questions about moving. I'm going to talk through this last experience and give you all the tips I've accumulated since doing major across state line moves about 4 times now. So I didn't like the apartment I chose because I had previously, when I came out to Charlotte before and decided on this building, I had seen a model unit. And then on that layover at the beginning of August when I saw the actual apartment that I was supposed to be moving into. So the goal was to get a place where I could maximize my productivity with this here YouTube and all the other things I work on. So natural lighting, you see this? Natural lighting was a huge deal for me. And the apartment just heavily fell short. So I ended up taking a larger and more expensive than I should have apartment that we are in now, which pushed my move-in date back by a whole entire month. So I went from planning to be on the road for a little over 2 weeks to it being over 5 weeks in transit. I was supposed to move August 16th and I moved September 17th. In between that, I got a grant from the Ford Foundation that required me to be in California for 2 weeks. We're out here learning about climate change and indigenous people and the trees. These trees is old. These bitches is old. Bitches in the forest, bruh. And then after that, Creators for Change came through by having me on a panel with the economists in New York City. So the part of that 5 weeks did kind of fill out on top of me going to New Orleans to see Beyonce. You know, I had some things to fill that space out, but it was just a lot of movement in a short period of time. Let me tell you, this right here has been a lifesaver, because keeping up with all the things I just mentioned, on top of the normal paperwork I handle in my day-to-day, on top of my weekly reviews of Insecure on both YouTube and verysmartbrothers.com, this right here, this is my hitter. Oh, we open up right to what I was using the most. Okay, so this gets me to my first tip. You need to organize your move. All those moving pieces, organization helps. And this is coming from a person who has not a single organized bone in their body. But I put effort in this time. So I packed most of my boxes over the course of about 3 weeks, and that might be a tip unto itself. Don't wait till the last minute to pack slowly over time. And it gave me enough space to label most everything and create a spreadsheet in Google Docs. And I did this before I even knew I was gonna get this sucker. I was just like thinking, if I use Google Drive and I use Google Docs, it'll be attached to my email. So if I don't have my main computer on me or I'm out somewhere, I can just pull it up wherever as long as I have access to my email. So like when I got back from London to New York City, where my wonderful number 4, that's my line sister, my quad, Traylyn, let me overstay my welcome at her house. Girl, I was there for over 3 weeks, taking all the space up in her living room. You know, I sat my happy yellow behind down in her orange living room to record videos and realized I couldn't find this. Do you see? was giving this beautiful, what is this, bouquet, the beautiful, this look it's giving. I couldn't find my lens. All I had to do was open this up, navigate to Google Docs, make myself feel real special when I pop this sucker out. Stylus, slide up, and be able to check, because not only did I put in the order in which I packed up all my stuff, but I also, as much as I could, especially with the things that had more value in it, document where I was packing up things and how certain boxes were loaded onto the truck. So I was able to check the spreadsheet and see that the last box that was packed up was my vintage cameras, which I kept on a shelving unit with some of the lenses that I actually use in my day-to-day. And it was not only the last thing packed up, but it was the last thing closed and taken out to the truck. And so likely, just to get everything out the house, I mistakenly put my lens into that box. And so it gave me a good peace of mind over the month plus that I was not with my stuff, that I didn't have to overly stress. It didn't give me added anxiety to already kind of being displaced for the extended period of time. That little peace of mind mattered a lot. I know you're thinking, moving company, sis? You got a whole moving company? Oh, you got money. You got money like that? Sis, I have moved broke and financially stable, okay? I've done it both ways. And my general second tip is just to keep it real with you. Moving costs money. I'm not gonna feed you some BS trying to upsell you on moving cheaply, because even though you can definitely move cheaply, it is almost always an influx of putting out cash at once. So even if you do it cheaply, you might get like the different components of moving cheaply. You gotta pay for all them components mostly at one time, both your down deposit on a new apartment, however you're moving, whether you're renting a car and driving, and then you have to pay for gas and, you know, food and getting places, and then paying for where you stay in between that, storage, the U-Haul. It's just an influx of cash, and for most people, you know, we're not used to putting out that much money all at once. So you are going to be taking a financial hit. So plan for it. There are absolutely ways to save money, and a big part of that is just planning ahead. Some of us get the itch to move, and it has to be like, I need to move tomorrow, yesterday, like last week I should have moved already. And I get it, sis. But I promise you, please don't let that destination syndrome have your bank account in distress. Because I promise, if you can hold off until moving, typically until the off season, which is October to about February, that helps a lot in offsetting costs. I use a moving company called Green Line Vans out of Dallas. They were the most cost-effective option that I could find. Oh, I'm just so happy I did it. It was something that I felt uncertain about the apartment that I had picked out already. So it wasn't a big surprise when I showed up here in Charlotte and was like, oh, I don't like it. And so I wanted to be able to have enough storage time where my stuff could just be stored before it was actually had to be picked up and driven, or was the moving company drove it out here themselves. It wouldn't gouge out my bank account if I happened to change my move date and then my move ended up being pushed back. With the month and a half storage, as well as transporting my stuff from Dallas to Charlotte, they were great and efficient, especially when I called them having changed my mind on the apartment, pushing my moving date back a month, and they were already loading my stuff up on the truck to drive it to Charlotte. My bad, y'all. But they were so understanding, and they really worked with me on that. I love it. The only thing is, when you get to moving companies like that and you're still getting an equitable price and they're not charging you $5,000, $6,000 for a move, you do have to be flexible about when you're gonna get your stuff. So I ended up being in this apartment for about a week because of the hurricane mostly, that my stuff being driven out here got pushed back. But it was exactly a week that I was in here before my stuff arrived. I will say, with self-moving pods, you control the costs more. You also use more of your time though. Third tip, you wanna make sure you keep the bare minimum on you to be able to get work done or handle emergencies while you are in the process of the move. That means important paperwork. I tend to take pictures or scan in on my paperwork, and I naturally just use Google Drive a lot because it was just so easy and accessible. So, I was chilling. I would suggest keeping one utility bill on you. You never know when you need reference for confirming your address. Notebooks, laptops, and for me, that also meant a good bit of production equipment. Don't pack everything up but your purse. And I say that because some of us some of us who don't have an organized bone in our body are inclined to think that we need to pack everything up at once because it looks the best and it looks pristine, but don't do it. And this little sucker was lit when it landed in my lap because I do not like traveling with my main laptop because it's, one, very expensive, two, it's heavy, three, I don't need nothing going wrong because that's what I edit all my videos on, and so that's our direct connection to my income, sis. Don't mess it up. And so while I don't edit video on it, I can get everything else done, like prep for videos. So I outline my videos in Google Docs. I use Google Cloud Print to print documents from anywhere to my printer sitting over there. So I would be in San Francisco. Set that sucker up over there because my mind moves a million pages at a time. So if I print something out, when I get home and I pull it out my printer, I remember, oh, I need to sign this. Oh, I need to read this over. Oh, I need to review this. It keeps me together, because in my old age I could be forgetful. All that helps to keep me in check since it's so lit and I feel so very fancy. Boom, right like that on your screen. Especially when I was in Cali for 2 weeks, where part of that we were on an Indian reservation in the woods. Since packed the homie to take notes and handle business while on the go. Just like that. And since the operating system functions much like a phone, I can download all the task management apps that I needed and sync them across all my mobile devices to get my work done. You know how official tissue, girl, this helped me be able to watch Insecure on a go, Chromecast it to my TV because we ain't got no cable in here. So we're getting off topic, but I do work for have you seen this yet? I work for myself, so I don't think too much about jobs when I relocate, but I always tell people, because this ties into like money, and you need money to move, and then you need to make money once you get through your move, is that if you're looking for work, like you're moving to DC or Dallas because they have booming job economies, sign up with staffing agencies. That would be my tip number 4. Unfortunately, we are in an economic climate where a lot of companies contract out their work via staffing agencies, but there's always ways to still make that work for you. Make sure you negotiate your rates and consider what the healthcare options are, especially if you have to come out of pocket for them. But we're veering off into a whole another topic of tips. So back to the moving tips. Keep with, if you're moving because you want to make more money or get a better job, staffing agencies can help expedite that process and get you into someplace, especially because a lot of us don't necessarily have the access to vast networks that can get us into jobs, good jobs, in whatever city we desire to move to. And lo and behold, that's actually how I was able to move to DC and land a job right away after getting fired from that Chromebook Pro job I had. And that was my last real job, was a job I had in DC. So my 5th and final tip is, do not feel like you have to move in any particular manner. As Black women, we take a lot of heat when we do not live lives in accord with conventional societal norms. So especially for those of us that are accused of moving because we are chasing happiness, we don't feel the need to move in a way that would appear Instagram fashionable. Move within your means. Sometimes that means you want to live in a city, but you're going to need roommates. Sometimes that means moving back in with your parents, and I wish, legit, if I could, I would. Sometimes that means moving further out of the city center. And sometimes that means your apartment won't be all white and gold, everything filled with Z Gallery furnishings. Girl, Z Gallery too expensive for my taste. So do what you need to do to live the life you want. Don't feel bad about moving or leaving a city, no matter how short or long you've been there. Be reasonable about what you the person, can take on, and be prepared, because there will always be a hurdle. But if you're prepared, it won't be too bad. I am very, very, very happy to move in, and me and my Chromebook legit are still kicking it. I can't even, girl. Oh, I didn't mean to close that out. Did it save? Oh, it saved. Let me just go ahead and send that to my desktop now. I love this little feature I have in here. And shout out to Evelyn's IG stories. That's how I learned how to do it. Me and this sucker are kicking it real hard because I have a Google Home. I just be in the house asking her random questions. Hey Google, who's Fannie Lou Hamer?
According to Wikipedia, Fannie Lou Hamer was an American voting and women's rights activist, community organizer, and a leader in the civil rights movement.
She be knowing. But I don't have no cable, so this, that, the Chromecast, everything comes together, and I'm ready to get the ball rolling on all these videos. I'm packing this with me this weekend when I go to South Carolina because I'm still needing to script and research and get some other videos together. And here is to a great winter with smart brown girls. I'm doing it for y'all. So let me know in the comments down below. If you've done a cross-country move, what's one tip that you would definitely give people? Or if you got a few, give them to the peoples. And two, if you could move to any city, not only what city would you move to, but what neighborhood in that city would you move to? If I could move to any city, I would move to Garden District, New Orleans. Oh, thanks for watching. Did I even tell you what kind of Chromebook this was? I have the Samsung Chromebook. They come in different colorways, different ways, but this one